There's always layers to a person. There's always layers to a philosophy. There's layers to belief. But at the core is usually one belief, one philosophical driver. Do you know what yours is?
I'm starting to understand, and it's in the infancy stages. I won't say it's fully developed. What I've come talking, 176 episodes, talking to a lot of people, I've come to the realization that most people don't see other people. They do not see them whatsoever.
Can you elaborate on that?
I think that when people are talking with one another, they have an inability to actually think, like to enter the mind of somebody else. And it's, it's impossible to fully do that.
Right.
But I think people are so caught up in themselves thinking what they look like, what are they saying? When they're having a conversation with somebody, they're instantly thinking, how am I going to reply to that? What's going to be my clever retort? What's going to be my witty joke? And there's a lot of just not hearing and seeing other people. Because I think that when people start hearing and seeing one another, that's when goodness comes out. Because once you can hear and see somebody, you validate their humanity. You accept that they can feel pain and joy and happiness. And now you're going to treat them accordingly.
Wow, that was an incredibly beautiful answer, and you're a much better person than I am, because that would, if I would respond something
I have
similar,
you all fooled right now. So.
Right, I would have been throwing in some negativity there, like a little negativity paprika, maybe. There's a little too much salt in Alexander's answer. Like.
I think negativity can keep you in check.
I agree.
I think that because there's a lot of people who are very idealistic in this world, and sometimes my episodes are extremely dark. I've talked about some very dark things, and I realize that if it's darkness with a period, then it just remains dark. But if it's darkness with a comma, meaning like this is really upsetting, this is really bad, but what are we going to do to fix it? It's not so dark. But in order to make this world better, you have to deal with human ugliness. If you don't deal with human ugliness, nothing gets better.
I love the answer that you start out with acknowledging the person for what they are, which is another living thing first. Like that's your baseline.
Yes.
And, it sounds really stupid and simple to say, but you're right. Very few people do that. A lot of people, I think, view humanity as pins in a bowling, in like a bowling match. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like you're part of the game. You kind of have to be there to keep score.
Yeah.
Right. But at the end of the day, it's like they'll bowl right over you to deliver themselves a strike. It's like you can't bowl without the pins, right? You can't operate through the world without involving yourself with humanity. But there isn't this ritual of respect, I guess, with other people. Do you think that this is...
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
If you're a bowling ball, right?
Sure.
Do you think the pins like you?
Probably not.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's how a lot of people operate, is that they want to achieve something. They want to, like the bowling ball wants to achieve a strike, or the owner of the bowling ball wants to. But if you treat everyone as a transaction or as a pin, you're not going to be remembered the way you think you will be.
Right.
So I think that, yes, you need to be assertive in what you want in this world, but if you treat people as transactional objects to be pushed out of the way, it'll come back.
I agree.